see you. Where you go, you come. We must tell you cabo. Anytime we see you. Where you go, you come. We must tell you cabo.
Channel. Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is your babe Antoinette. If it's your first time here, kindly hit the red subscribe button, subscribe, be a part of my wonderful YouTube family. If you're the oldie and goodie, you guys already know how much I love you. Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Today's video is really important, and I feel like this is a video that I should have filmed long before now, because I've had comments and emails in relation to this particular video, and I've realized, according to my analytics, that most of the people watching my videos are not really in Sierra Leone. So I get more views from UK and USA and UK, that's the rank, and other countries. So that means most of my views are not from Sierra Leone. But I want to believe that most of these people are people that are Sierra Leoneans that are living out of Sierra Leone. So it could be diasporans, it could be descendants, people that are tracing their origin back to Africa. They want to come to Sierra Leone, to Africa, but they want to know about our culture, traditions, and all of that. So I am going to talk about things that you should consider before moving down to Sierra Leone, because I feel like these are really important and they are going to help you to move around and make life better for you. Otherwise, I'm sorry, if you don't prepare, if you don't think about all of these things, if you don't prepare well, it's going to be difficult. This video is not going to be the be all and end all, okay? These are just things that I personally will think about while sitting down here. So if you think about something else, then just drop it down in the comment section, because we want to learn. So let's get right into this video. Now, the very first thing that you need to do before moving down to Sierra Leone is to do research. You need to do research, like get your facts together, know about Sierra Leone, the culture, the people. Come down to Sierra Leone, take vacation, okay? Like plan within the year, within 2 years, 3 years, just visit Sierra Leone on vacation. Come down here, take a look at things, you know, just observe things, the way things move and all of that. Get used to the system little by little, so that you don't just come and get culture shock. Like once you come, you are like, yeah, is this how different it could be in the same planet? The second thing that I'll talk about is work/business. Now, you want to move down to Sierra Leone. What will you do in Sierra Leone? Are you someone that is into business? Are you someone that works? When you are in Sierra Leone, what are you going to do? Do you want to think about the jobs that you're searching for? Do you want to start searching for those jobs and see the availability? Start to network, start to talk to people in Sierra Leone that can help. I mean, not say they are going to give you the job. They are not going to just take the job and give it to you. But, you know, just start building that foundation. At least you know someone that knows someone that will connect you to someone that you'll apply, and that someone can see that you have the potential, that you can. You get the point. So start building your networks, and then search for the jobs that you want to do. Search for the businesses. Think about it. Okay, you want to come down to Sierra Leone and start a boutique. You want to come down to Sierra Leone, you know, maybe everything fashion or traditional or local fashion or whatever it is. You want to do something that involves textiles and all of those things. You need to study the market and know if that is something that can thrive in Sierra Leone. Because you are doing that same business in the USA and it's working for you does not necessarily mean it will work in Sierra Leone, okay? So you need to study the market, know if these businesses can thrive, and then you decide to make the move to say, okay, I want to go to Sierra Leone and I'm willing to invest in such businesses and all that. And that takes us to the point that you need to save. You really need to save. I don't know how to emphasize this, because you don't want to say, okay, I've worked in the USA for 10 years and I now have $10,000, and that will last for about 5 years in Sierra Leone. Yeah, that will last for about 5 years, because I mean, rice is cheap, palm oil is plenty, you have cassava, you have don't come down here and be surprised. Things are damn expensive. The truth is, they might not be as expensive as they are in the US, but then you don't earn as much here in Sierra Leone as you earn in the US. It's expensive here, but then you make less when you're in Sierra Leone. So think about that and start saving before you come down to Sierra Leone. Otherwise, what you think is enough might really not be enough, and you don't want to be in that mess. So yeah, save, 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 and save. And as you save, think about investment. And before you invest, calm down, check the market, see what is needed, and that is what you're going to. The next thing I want to talk about is the language. Now, in my previous video, I talked about the Creole language. I'll link it up here if you've not seen that video. And that language, the Creole, is the juice. Like, you cannot move around easily if you don't know how to speak Creole. If someone wants to, you know, be mischievous or just act some way, you know, they are going to be like, okay, this person is one of us, so that means they understand what we are saying and all that. So it's just going to be easier for you when you know how to speak the language. And apart from the security issue, the fact that you speak the language is going to make things easier for you, in the sense that most people are just going to naturally come closer to you when you speak the Creole language. They're just going to be, you know, more open, wanting to help you out, wanting to be friends with you, wanting to talk to you. And so, you know, you get lots of people being nice to you. I believe it goes a long way, and it helps you to settle in, you know, showing us that you can really talk to us and we can understand, we can share ideas in our local language. It goes a long way. And that takes us to the next point, and I want to talk about culture, diversity. If you want to talk about adaptability, I know you've heard about that, okay? This is the time when you want to move down to Sierra Leone. That is when you need to put on your adaptability cap, okay, before moving down here, because you are going to see things that are different from what you know. You're going to see things that are different from what you believe in. But let me tell you one thing: the sooner you accept people for who they are, the better for you. I mean, if you've been in Sierra Leone and then you move to UK, you move to USA, you move to other countries, there are certain things that we don't practice in Sierra Leone. But then when you move to those places, you just have to, I mean, you don't necessarily need to be involved, but you just have to let people be, okay? You have to let people be, let them do them, you know, and all that. So it's the same when you move down to Sierra Leone. You will see different things and you'll be like, what's going on here? That is it, and that is how people have been doing it, and they are thriving and they are just living their lives. So you don't need to come down here and be like, okay, so I'm here to help you out, okay? So the sooner you stop doing what you're doing and be like this and be like me, you know, I'm all washed now and clean, be like me. No way. Come down here, accept people for who they are, accept the culture. I want to talk about land and real estate, okay? You want to come down to Sierra Leone and you want to own a house or you want to rent a house. Something you should know is it's really difficult to get apartments here in Sierra Leone. I mean, it's difficult for you to just be in your living room and then just check the websites and you happen to, you know, see something that you really like and get that particular house. It's really difficult. Like, we agents, they're not good for talk. It's very difficult to own a land in Freetown. You'll come in contact with someone that will be like, okay, I have 10 plots of land and all that, and then you end up paying and they'll give you receipts, they'll give you documents and everything. At the end of the day, you get to realize that okay, you're not the only one that has paid. You're not the only owner of that land. You're not the only owner of that land. Somebody else has paid with receipts, and maybe they have the authentic documents and you are having something else. So all of that, like, you need to really think deep about that and make sure you move around with people that understand the system. If you have relatives that really understand, you know, contact, you know, people that they need to check up with, you know, to get good plots of land without issues. That is something that you need to think about, and don't rush into making purchase. Take your time, move around with people that really understand, and study the process like mathematics. Study the process, okay? Because the slightest mistake, you'll just end up paying for a plot of land that somebody else has paid for, and you don't want all that mess. So be really attentive. Something that you need to consider is the differences in the way we do things, and I'll just talk about 3 main things, okay? And that is healthcare, medical facility, electricity, and transportation. Electricity. Have you heard about EDSA? If you have relatives back home, just call them, ask about EDSA. How is the electricity in Sierra Leone? How is light? How is all of that? Let them give you the information that you need, okay? Let them tell you all about EDSA before you move down to Sierra Leone, because you first of all need to think about alternative power methods, okay? If you're thinking about solar system, if you're thinking about generators, start thinking of those things and invest in them. Coming down from countries that you're probably used to, maybe 24 hours light, or all through, like no cuts, no power outages, nothing, nada, and then you move down to Sierra Leone where some places don't even see light at all. Some places don't see light. For some places, yeah, there is light and it comes and goes, you know, it's just like that. Christmas lights, it's blinking and all that. For some places it goes for about, let's say, 7, 8, 9 hours a day. So if you're doing, let's say, a business and it requires light, start thinking, do I need generator, do I need solar system? You know, you need to find alternative power system, otherwise your business is going to suffer power outages. It's the fact. And then let's talk about medical facility. Oh my god, healthcare. So the healthcare is really not one that we are happy about as it is now. It's sad, but that is the reality. Like the healthcare system is messed up. Like it is messed up. Things that are not supposed to be of concern or alarming, you know, diseases that are not, you know, diseases that should not kill people. These are the diseases that we battle with. It's a whole lot. So you need to think about that and always have a plan B. I mean, if you don't have the money, then you cannot travel out of the country to go get medical. But if you have it, that is something that you want to save for. That is something that you want to look into, because you never know if you'll need it. And most times if you go to these hospitals, you don't get any good service, and when you happen to find small good service, it's expensive. It's damn too expensive. So healthcare for the poor, healthcare for the average Sierra Leonean is nothing to write home about. So just start thinking about your plan B. What do you want to do? Like, if things happen, do you have the, you know, capacity to move quickly out, you know, to get good medical and then you come back? That is something that you need to think about. And also transportation. At this point, I don't know what is the worst thing. Like, transportation here in Sierra Leone, jeez, it's a problem. Big problem. Okay, to get vehicles from one point to the other is a whole headache. So you need to think about transportation. What means of transportation will you use when you come to Sierra Leone? Are you going to bring a vehicle down here, or do you intend to buy one when you get here? Please go for a very strong one, because the bikes and kekes the tricycles and motorcycles and all of those cycles that you will pass by on the streets of Freetown, and it's extremely difficult for you not to hit each other. Like, it's extremely difficult. If you've been on this channel, I started driving, I think, in February or March, at around that time, and ever since then the vehicle has just been a hit. Like, right now it is so rough. My husband is like, babe, What are you doing? What are you doing? What's wrong? I feel so bad for him because he likes his vehicle to look, I mean, it's his vehicle. Don't tell me it's your property because you're married. It's his vehicle, but he's so generous to let me use it. But you guys, if you see like left, right, back, front, at least some amount of scratch, you cannot avoid it. You cannot. So the only thing you need to do is find one that is really strong, not those fancy cars that the musicians are using. You cannot use that here. Find something that is really strong. Okay, be aware that. Now be aware that if offend. So find something that is really strong, that can move around, you know, manpower that you can use and all that, and not much of fancy cars. I mean, we've experienced it and all that. Don't come here with fancy cars. Find something that is really strong. I mean, it can be beautiful, but it should be strong enough to, you know, take all of the impact, the roads, the hittings, you know, the banging. You need something that is really functional, more functionality than beauty. So these are some of the reasons why you need to think well and plan your trip. Don't rush it. Come down to Sierra Leone, make your observations, make your plans. Sierra Leone is a beautiful place to live. You can live a comfortable life here, you can live a peaceful life here, but these are just things that I have experienced in Sierra Leone, that people experience in Sierra Leone. But you have what's happening in other parts of the world. So these are just the things that I could think about that you need to think about and plan before moving to Sierra Leone. We welcome you to our beautiful motherland. Okay, so thank you so much guys for watching, and if you've watched to this point, please drop a comment in the comment section to let someone know the things that they need to do before coming down to Sierra Leone, how they need to plan before moving down to Sierra Leone. Let us know in the comments down below. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and if you've not subscribed, please make sure you do so before we leave. Until my next video, bye.
Here she comes like a rays of the sun. She's